The movie opens with this text that shows up, and it tells you what happened in the past two movies, and it tells you how now there's this war going on where the humans are hunting down the apes. Then we see these soldiers walking through the woods. They got these crazy statements painted on the back of their helmets. They say things like, ape killer, death to King Kong, hate speech against apes. So now you have this idea in your head of what the humans are. You have the idea of them as these villains. Then the soldiers come across this squad of apes, and we see the soldiers react to finding these apes. The first soldier's face that we see, he's scared. He is terrified that he's going to die. It's the movie's way of showing you that the situation is not clear-cut. There's not an easy good guy and bad guy. The movie is able to make you think about the moral implications of these situations. Even some of the most evil characters in the movie, who are doing some of the most evil things you can possibly do to another sentient being, are somewhat justified. The movie is accomplishing the goal of science fiction. It's making you understand that issues are complicated. There's not a simple solution to every single problem. It's making you see both sides to a conflict, and forcing you to think and choose. It's been said before, and it'll be said again, but oh my god, nominate Andy Serkis for something, for God's sake. In this movie, Caesar has to deal with this horrible tragedy that happens to him. He has to decide how to deal with that. Should he sacrifice his village for his revenge? And the way that Andy Serkis portrays how conflicted Caesar is, the pain in every decision Caesar makes, you just see it right there and you feel it. You portray Caesar with this subtlety, and it just makes the performance so much more effective and so brilliant. And Woody Harrelson is so great as this villainous colonel, this object of Caesar's revenge. The brilliance of this character is that he delivers his philosophy, and you as an audience member are like, no, that's wrong. But as we get further into the movie, we start to see what he's talking about, and we start to understand that character more. And Woody Harrelson is able to make that character really terrifying as a villain. Both this movie and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes have some of the best motion capture acting in cinema. These characters really come to life, and you just feel every one of their emotions. It's just such an effective display of performances. There is a scene in this movie in which they use the most simple and cliche motif you could possibly use in a movie, and it works. There's a scene that should really hurt the movie, that should feel cliche, make you go, oh, they're doing that, okay, whatever, fine. But instead it's the best scene in the movie. The movie is also gorgeously shot and brilliantly directed. There are shots in this movie where I go, oh, that's perfect. You got just the right framing, just the right lighting. That's a perfect shot for what you were trying to convey. Then there are also these scenes that are directed in a way where they're incredibly tense, where you're just on the edge of your seat. You're like, what is going to happen? This is a movie that talks about big ideas. It has allegories for slavery and Vietnam. It succeeds at the goals within its genre, and at the same time, it is beautiful and emotionally powerful. I'm gonna give War for the Planet of the Apes an A+.